Hello, second grade. This is Mr. Parsons with the math lesson for today. We will be doing skip counting by fives and skip counting by tens. The standard is NBT 2, NBT 2. The I can statement is I can count up from 90 to 1,000 by using skip counting. And we will be skip counting specifically with fives and tens. All right, without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start with our fives first. Our fives, 90. I'm adding 5 every single time. 95. If I add another 5, that means there's a 0 in my ones place, and that 1 gets carried over to the tens place. 9 plus 1 we know is 10. So if we have a 10 and a 0, it's not really a 10 and a 0, is it? No, it's 100. Add another 5. 105. You add another 5. Guess what? It's a pattern. 0, 5, 0, 5, 0. All right? That 1 comes over here to the tens place. Keep that right there. 110. All right? 0, 5, 0, 5, 0. 5's going to be up here. It just adding 5. 115. Okay, so please notice the pattern. Okay? 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5. After that 5, all right, your ones place is going to be 0. That 1 from the 10 is going to go over to the tens place. And then it starts over again. 0, 5, 0. 1 to the tens place. Boom, you got your number. Add 5. You got your 5. All right. Same thing right here. Add another 5. Ones place is 0. That 1 from the 10 is going to get added to the tens place. Plus 1. That's it. So 120. All I did was add 5. Okay? We're doing that all the way to 1,000. From 90 all the way to 1,000. In between 90 and 1,000. So as I get closer to 1,000, let's go 980. I'm going to add 5, 985. I'm going to add another 5. Remember, 0, 1's place. The tens place gets a 1. 8 plus 1, 9. 990. Add 5. 995. Guess what? That 0 is in the ones place. I got my 0. The 1 goes over to the tens place. Uh-oh. It's another 10. Okay. 0 to 1 moves over again. Oh, there's another 9. That means the 1, boom. We get 1,000. After 995, we get 1,000. Let me break it down a little bit more for you. All right? We have 995. If I add 5, look what happens. 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. I carry my 1 again. 1 plus 9 is 10. I bring that down. 1, comma, 0, 0, 0. That gives me 1,000. All right, now that's counting by fives. Now let's see how the pattern will go when we're counting by tens. Okay, counting by tens. Here we go. From 90. When we're counting by tens, Which place value are we going to be looking at? Exactly, the tens place. You add 1 to the tens place. When we add 1 here, we're going to get that in the ones place is always going to be 0. You don't ever have to worry about the ones place being in another number other than 0 when you're counting by 10. And when we're looking at the tens place with 3 digits, that's the number right in the middle. Right here. That's the number in the middle. All right, now we're going to add 10. 110. 120. 130. 140. Look at the pattern. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the only number that is changing, the number in the middle, because the number in the middle is the tens place value, and that's what we're counting by. The ones place stays 0. The hundreds place stays 1. The tens place is the only thing that's changing until we, matter of fact, let me leave that there. 140. And we go all the way down, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, right? 190. If I add 10 here, look what happens. 0. 9 plus 1 is 10. 0, I carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Now we have 200. The only time you worry about your hundreds place when you're counting by tens is when you get to that 90. Then you have to add 1 to the hundreds place and go straight back to adding to the tens place. Just 1, that's it. All right? So the same thing will be for 290 plus 10, 0. 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Look, I had to change my hundreds place. But then we go straight back to adding to our tens place. All right? But 310, 320, 330. Look, it's the same pattern. The same pattern. 0, 1, 2, 3. All right? Now, just like I did for the fives, we're going to get closer to 1,000. Once we get closer to 1,000, I want you to see what happens. All right? We're going to start with 960. Okay? The next number should be what? Correct. 970. Because this is what we're adding 1 to. The tens place. 110. 970. 980. You guys are doing a great job. 990. Oh, guess what? I add my 10. And what happens? 0. Make that a little neater. 0. 9 plus 1 is 10. 1 plus 9 is 10. There's nothing else over here. So I'm going to bring my 10 straight down. Boop. I got my 1,000. I got my 1,000. All right? So remember the patterns. When you're counting by fives, 960, 0. 965. There's a 5. Now, it goes back to 0, and you shift your focus to the tens place. You add 1 over there to the tens place because 5 plus 5 is 10. We bring down our 0, and our 1 gets carried over to the tens place. So we add 1 more to the middle number because that is the tens place value, and that becomes 70. 970. 0, 5, 0. We know it's supposed to be 5. Add 1 to the tens place. 8. Hundreds place stays the same. We go down again. 0. 1 to the tens place. Hundreds place stays the same. 5. All right. And then we add another 5, and look what happens. Like we did before. 5, 0, 0, 10. Boom. All right. 1,000. 0, 5, 0, 5. The only time you worry about the tens place when we're counting by fives is when we get to that 5. We got to carry that 1 over to the tens place, and that ones place goes back to a 0. Now, when we're doing counting by tens, only time we worry about the hundreds place, notice we go the next place value up. All right. The only time we worry about the hundreds place is when we get to the 9. Okay. Other than that, we're just adding 1 to the tens place. 998 plus 1 is 9. All right. We add 1 more. The ones place is always going to be 0. The ones place is always going to be 0. 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry my 1 over here. Hundreds place changes. We get 1,000. All right. It's all about the patterns. It's all about the patterns. Now it's your turn.